If you're watching this, then you almost certainly are part of a team. Being a team is great, but being a team can be hard. In this video, we're going to think about why teams are so important and how you can play your part in your team. So why are teams important? First off, we need to recognise that being part of a team is a biblical model. Theologians talk about the relationship between the Trinity as perichoresis, the interaction between Father, Son and Holy Spirit, sometimes described as a dance. Jesus drew a team together. He called the 12 disciples. He developed a sense of team. He sent out the 12. He sent out the 72 in pairs, and they were effective. Paul writes to the church in Corinth, using the illustration of the body to demonstrate how the church must work together, with Christians seeing each other as members of one body. We need diversity in our teams, and I believe it's really important that children and young people encounter different backgrounds, different ages and different personalities. Young people are looking for role models. They may find them in a loud, upfront, energetic young youth leader, or they may find them in a quieter, older person who volunteers each week. Whoever you are, you have something to offer, and you are a valuable part of the team. So how can you play your part? I want us to explore 4 commitments to being part of a team, which I think will enable the whole team to thrive and reach their vision. Commitment number 1, support your leaders. The starting point of being a part of a children's or youth ministry team is to support your leaders. Get on board with the vision. If you haven't already, take some time to get to know your leader's vision, hopes and aims for the team and the ministry you're a part of. Ask how you can be part of that vision and explore where you fit into that vision. When we don't understand the overall aim or goal, we can sometimes end up undermining the ministry by pursuing what we think is the goal. Being on the same page is an important first step, and it makes sure that the team support one another and are successful in reaching their goals. Secondly, in supporting your leader, make an effort to be an encourager. Leaders often face discouragement and loneliness in ministry, and therefore it's really important that the whole team are committed to encouraging and building up one another. Find ways that you can appreciate other members of the team. Let them know that you value their input and their leadership. Avoid criticising others, especially in public, and make an effort to think and talk positively about others in the team. If you don't understand why a decision has been made or don't agree with something another leader says, find space to have honest conversations. But it may be better to have those conversations in private rather than in front of young people or other team members. As part of the team, you have influence, so use that influence to encourage others and support one another to play their part. Commitment number 2, serve others. I have heard it said that 90% of church ministry is moving the chairs around. Maybe you can relate. A willingness to serve and take on the less visible or attractive jobs is often a sign of someone with good character. In my experience, there's often people who are willing to do the visible stuff, but far fewer who are willing to do those less glamorous jobs. A faithfulness and willingness in small things is important. So find ways that you can serve others as a team player. Turning up on time or even a little early to help with setting up are good ways of serving the team. During a session, do you find yourself wondering what to do? Ask or look for things that may need doing, clearing up after a game or craft or getting the snacks ready early. We can also serve our team by making sure that we contribute to discussions and games and other activities. Rather than being disengaged from the group, get involved. Don't stand around the room talking to other team members whilst the young people are playing a game or having a small group time. Get involved. Think about how you could serve children and young people that you're working with. Use this opportunity to demonstrate what Jesus means when he tells us to serve each other. Commitment number 3, communicate. One of the biggest threats to a team working well together is poor communication. It's really important that ministry teams learn to communicate well. Make sure that you are clear on your responsibilities within the team. Ask questions if you're not sure, or if anything seems unclear. It's always better to check that everyone has understood what needs doing than to assume that others will fill in the gaps. Communication goes both ways. So if you're unable to make a session or are struggling with one of your commitments, talk to your leader. Don't avoid talking about issues. Make space for conversations and work together to find solutions. Team meetings, group chats on social media, phone calls, emails are all important parts of building relationships and working together as a successful team. Commitment 4. Set a good example. Young people are always watching. They are watching to see how we live our lives and if our actions really do match up with what we say. Being a part of a children's or youth ministry team is a step of leadership, and therefore we must consider the example that we are setting. If I was to think about who I would want to be part of a ministry team I was leading, the first and most important thing that I'm looking for is a genuine relationship with God. You have an incredible opportunity to get to know children or young people when they are at a time when they may be making big decisions about what they believe or how they want to live their lives. You are a person of influence in their lives, and so if you want to make a difference, the first place to start is in you. Take time to think about your own relationship with God. Reflect on how you are practicing spiritual disciplines, reading the Bible, spending time in prayer, meeting God's people, serving others. As leaders, we have a responsibility to pass on faith to the next generation. So we need to be drawing from deep wells of our own discipleship. To recap, being part of a team is important. And we've looked at 4 commitments to being part of a team. Support your leaders, serve each other, communicate well, and set a good example. As a team, you have an incredible opportunity to bless one another. So be encouraged to work together for God's kingdom purposes.